My BFF doesn't want a relationship with anyone, makes remarks that he does with me sometimes. He's very emotional in a sincere way. She left a little more. We're not sexual at all. I tell him all the time I'm waiting for marriage. He's extremely invested. So it sounds like it's her best friend who sounds like she's interested in. He makes remarks that he doesn't want a relationship with anyone, even though he's there. I heard you the other day in a live stream, Matt, talk about when a man's words and actions don't match up, kind of going with that. I'd love to hear everything you have to say on that. I won't take over that one, but
so you have to, it's one of those things, like you hear it all the time where people are like, actions speak louder than words, right? And that's true a lot of the time. However, here's what you want to remember whenever a man's actions and his words don't line up. Always believe the worst of the two. So if or the one that you don't want to believe, right? Which in this case is that he's not really interested in something, right? Because a lot of women, what they'll do is they'll be like, well, his actions show me that he really wants a relationship, but he keeps telling me that he doesn't want a relationship. And we've had women who came to our community who were in these situations with men where the man told her for years, right? They'd been together for 8 years, 10 years, 12 years. I think there was like 17 years was the longest one, which is just crazy, where the guy was like, hey, I don't want a relationship. This isn't going anywhere. And these women were like, no, he definitely wants a relationship. He's showing me with his actions. But the reality is that there's two sides, right? His words and his actions, and both of them are incredibly important. And so if his actions are worse than his words, believe his actions. If his words are worse than his actions, then believe his words. And so whatever is the worst of the two, you want to take that and be like, okay, this is probably the truth, right? It is possible that he can change his mind and that, things are going to be different and all that kind of stuff, but I wouldn't bet on it. And a lot of women have wasted years of their lives waiting for guys like that because the guy told them over and he's like, I told her, right? And I used to be in the men's dating industry, and I would talk to these guys in there, and like the forums that I used to run this big forum in Denver for guys in the dating industry. And we had a ton of guys in there. And this one guy came in one time and he's like, I told her that I didn't want a relationship, but she's doing all this stuff with me anyway, and I'm like, dude, and he wanted to be known as like an a-hole because like, it was kind of cool to be like, this, cause in the men's dating industry, the biggest challenge for guys there is being a nice guy. Right. And so nobody wants to be the nice guy. Right. And if you tell a guy that he's a nice guy and he's in the men's dating industry, he's going to be like, oh, she's insulting me. Right. He doesn't want to be known as a nice guy. He wants to be the a-hole. Right. Because a-holes get girls, whereas nice guys don't. And so he's like, yeah, I'm an a-hole, and I'm like, no, you're an idiot, dude. And you're treating somebody like crap, and you're doing it in a very malicious, ignorant, stupid way. And it's going to end up backfiring on you, and she's going to hate you. All of her friends are going to hate you, and you need to stop doing this right now. Right. And so I have no idea why I went off on that tangent, but I think there's something on.
Love it. If a man's flat out telling you, if he's telling you he doesn't want a relationship, believe him, even if all of his actions are, because he probably really likes the companionship. I know you're not sleeping with him, you said, but he probably likes all the benefits he's getting, which is fine if you just want to be friends and have no feelings for him. But if you have feelings for him, I wouldn't just stick around hoping he changes his mind and all of a sudden magically turns into someone who wants a relationship. Right. So,